So it looked like DiJonai Carrington just got booted from the Dallas Wings.
DiJonai, your game was stinking in the mud, and the Dallas Wings wanted nothing to do with you going forward.
What do you call a player so reckless that even the referees need security? DiJonai Carrington. The Dallas Wings have finally parted ways with their most controversial player, and honestly, it was long overdue. This is the same Carrington who poked Caitlin Clark in the eye during the playoffs, injured her own teammate Paige Buchers while aiming for Jessica Shepard, and caused such a scene during a Chicago Sky game that officials had to call in security. She's racked up 4 flagrant fouls this season alone. That says everything about why Dallas was eager to move on. If you want Carrington out of the league, comment, fire Carrington.
Now, DiJonai Carrington couldn't keep her hands clean either. With staying out of headlines on the internet, she was always in headlines, punching players in the eye. And then we have to remember, she nearly injured Paige. Like, everybody forgot about that. Y'all remember when she nearly injured Paige, nearly took her whole knee out? Like, we gotta remember all of those things transpired during this basketball season, man. For her to tell you, they made it their business to get rid of her.
Before we get into how Carrington got the boot from Dallas, let's talk about why they cut ties in the first place. There's a fine line between being a tough defender and being a dangerous one. And with DiJonai Carrington, it all comes down to intent. Her highlight reel looks more like a medical report. It all started with the moment that put her under the spotlight. The infamous eye poke on Caitlin Clark during the 2024 playoffs, which left Clark bruised and fans stunned.
DiJonai, you're always in a dirty play. DiJonai, once again, here we are today. Oh, DiJonai.
Picture the scene during the Connecticut Sun vs. Indiana Fever first-round playoff clash. Caitlin Clark goes up for one of her signature shots, and DiJonai Carrington steps in to defend. But what happens next is far from routine. Carrington's hand strikes Clark directly in the face, right in the eye. The impact is instant and undeniable. Clark's head jerks back, and she clutches her face in pain. The rookie phenom who helped carry the Fever all season was left with a visible black eye that quickly became the headline of the playoffs.
As everyone else has seen this angle, I'm calling her in, and I'm saying to her, I need answers.
But here's what most people don't realize about that play. The aftermath exposed just how intentional Carrington's aggression really was. While Clark dealt with the injury, Carrington showed no remorse. No apology, no hint that she might have gone too far. Instead, she leaned into the chaos, doubling down on her physical style like she was proud of it. That's when the criticism really started to heat up.
Went and kind of swatted at Caitlin. Did you intend to hit her in the eye? And if so, could you just, or if not, either way, could you talk about what happened on that play?
I don't even know why I would intend to hit anybody in the eye. That doesn't even make sense to me. But no, I didn't. I didn't know I hit her, actually. I was trying to make a play on the ball, and I guess I followed through and I hit her. So obviously it's never intentional. That's not even like the type of player that I am.
Fast forward to June 4th against the Seattle Storm, and the same disturbing pattern emerges. Skylar Diggins is on a fast break, driving to the basket for a transition score. Carrington steps in to defend, but instead of going for the ball, she makes direct contact with Diggins' head under the guise of a block attempt. Officials didn't hesitate to call a flagrant 1 foul. It was clear to everyone watching, this wasn't a defensive play. It was a blatant shot at another star's head.
Let's watch it, and this will give us a couple of different angles.
Stretches of games.
There's your tip. Diggins, who's still fast, gets down the floor, buries it, draws the foul, but is shaken up.
Fast forward to June 4th against the Seattle Storm, and the same disturbing pattern emerges. Skylar Diggins is on a fast break, driving to the basket for a transition score. Carrington steps in to defend, But instead of going for the ball, she makes direct contact with Diggins' head under the guise of a block attempt. Officials didn't hesitate to call a flagrant 1 foul. It was clear to everyone watching, this wasn't a defensive play. It was a blatant shot at another star's head.
Oh, and there's Skylar on the floor. At first glance, this might not look too bad. But when we get some different angles of it, you just see how this is clearly, definitely, 100% not a basketball play. Let's take a look. We got DiJonai.
For the officials, that this will likely get upgraded.
DiJonai, did you forget what sport you're playing? You know this is basketball, right?
Each incident only escalated in severity, and so did the public backlash. The Clark eye poke became the blueprint for how people viewed every Carrington foul after that, aggressive, reckless, and aimed at star players. Whether it was established veterans like Diggins or breakout stars like Clark, Carrington's playstyle didn't change. Headshots, face contact, and constant chaos. The fouls kept stacking up faster than Dallas could excuse them, paving the way for even more troubling behavior.
DiJonai Carrington is clearly a dirty player. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if Chin, what do you have going on in that mind of yours? Are you okay? DiJonai, are you okay? DiJonai, are you okay? Are you okay? DiJonai, are you okay? DiJonai, are you okay? Are you okay? Yes, DiJonai. Get it together, collect your thoughts, collect your emotions, because the last thing we need to see you is crash out.
Most players worry about injuring opponents. Carrington ended up injuring her own teammate in the process. The May 21st game against the Minnesota Lynx summed up everything wrong with her style of play. So locked in on causing damage, she barreled into teammate Paige Buchers while targeting Jessica Shepard, leaving chaos not just on the court, but in her own locker room.
Ball's being pushed down court. Whoa. Yeah, I mean, this will be a better angle of it. I think we'll be able to see how hard the foul is right here. That's a hard foul, and she does get her in the face when she's coming down.
Carrington goes for another eye poke, this time aiming at Jessica Shepard, but ends up injuring her own teammate, Paige Buchers, in the chaos. Picture the moment. Shepard rises for a shot, and Carrington comes charging in with her trademark recklessness. Instead of making a clean defensive play, she strikes Shepard directly in the face while trying to block the shot. The contact was so blatant and dangerous that officials immediately called a flagrant foul. It was reckless, intentional, and entirely avoidable.
She basically reached around Shepard's body, but the fact that she went for the basketball and for the block really
Basketball play.
Yeah, it is. And she ends up getting Shepard in the face, the nose. I don't know which takes precedent. Oh, see, it's the hit the ball and then it's the pull back. They're showing it on the jumbotron at a different angle that sort of looked like, watch after Carrington goes for the block, watch her pull back right here. And that's the part that I don't know if you separate that.
But the chaos didn't end there. In that same reckless play, Carrington's wild, out-of-control movements put her own teammate, Paige Buchers, at serious risk. Buchers got caught in the aftermath of what was clearly a dirty foul attempt. Think about that. How does one player create this much destruction in a single sequence? You have to be completely unhinged and laser-focused on causing harm to pull that off. It reached a point where even her own teammates started to question whether playing alongside Carrington was worth the risk. When you're constantly worried about being injured by your own teammate, during games and practices, that's a red flag. Buchers and other Wings players began showing visible frustration, knowing any one of them could be the next victim of Carrington's reckless style.
Like, I'm sorry, you don't get to plow through somebody's back, almost injure a teammate, and then say, yeah, and then, like, claim that you've done nothing. You've done nothing, like, and people are like, stand on business. She's like trying to laugh at him. Like, no, you're just Pat Bev. You're not Draymond, you're Pat Bev. Like, realistically, you're Pat Bev. That's it. And like, look, I mean this when I say this. It was a dangerous play only for Paige.
The Lynx players and coaching staff saw Carrington's recklessness up close, and they were visibly stunned. You could see the disbelief and disgust on their faces as she targeted one of their players' faces while simultaneously putting her own teammate at risk. Minnesota's coaches quickly realized this wasn't just aggressive defense. It was something far more dangerous. Carrington's style wasn't just a threat to opponents. It was a threat to everyone on the court. That moment made one thing clear to Dallas Wings management. They didn't have a competitor. They had a liability. When your own player jeopardizes team chemistry and player safety, you're not building a winning culture. You're creating an environment where no one feels safe stepping on the court.
Was it a flagrant 1? Yes. Could it have been called a flagrant 2? Yes. Was it more dangerous to Paige Beckers than anyone else? Because Paige Beckers was the one was the person who had to break Jessica Shepard's fall. Could she have blown out her teammate's knee? Yeah. Yeah. Like, that is what, like, realistically, that is what the conversation should be about. Because she wanted the Kiki or Yafan viral meme. Because as soon as she did it, look at what she does as soon as she did it. As soon as she did it, she walks towards Jessica Shepard, just tries to do the Kiki or Yafan face.
When you start injuring your own teammates while trying to hurt opponents, you've crossed a line no team can afford to ignore. This wasn't about physical play or tough defense anymore. It was about a player whose toxic approach to the game was infecting everything around her. After incidents like this, even referees began treating Carrington differently, recognizing they were dealing with someone who had lost control on the court. Ask yourself, when was the last time you saw a referee call for security during a game? That's exactly what happened during the infamous Chicago Sky incident. It marked the peak of Carrington's on-court chaos, the moment when officials, not just players, felt unsafe. Welcome to the DJ Carrington experience.
WNBA player who tried to rip Caitlin Clark's eye out. Zach Dean over at Outkick, hilarious. And tried to rip Caitlin Clark's eye out, has security called on her by ref. That's right. The referee had to call security on DiJonai Carrington. I can't say I'm surprised. I mean, hell, who wants to catch a stray eye gouge, a scoopage of the eyeball out, watching your eyeball roll across the floor because somebody's mad at one of your calls?
Picture the scene on May 30th, 2025. The Dallas Wings had just lost a close one to the Chicago Sky, 97-92, and tensions were high. But what happened after the game pushed things to a whole new level. During a post-game exchange with referee Roy Galbian, DJ Carrington's behavior escalated so quickly and aggressively that Galbian made a historic decision. He called for security. It was an unprecedented moment in WNBA history. This wasn't just a player venting frustration over a bad call. Whatever Carrington said or did created such a hostile, uncomfortable environment that a trained official, someone used to handling intense player confrontations, felt physically unsafe. That moment exposed just how far Carrington's conduct had spiraled. When even referees are asking for backup, it's no longer just about basketball.
Check this out right here. Yeah, you see this guy right here? Right in this Gentero area? You see this guy? The ref asked this dude to step out here. All right? Now, Cheryl Swoops wants this referee fired. She wants him fired. Look, he felt he felt something was amiss. Of course, Cheryl Swoops is defending DiJonai Carrington.
Players and coaches stood in stunned silence as security was called on a player during a professional basketball game. The disbelief was written all over their faces. This simply doesn't happen. Even longtime veterans admitted they'd never seen anything like it. But Carrington made things worse with her reaction on social media, posting, "Security when I'm literally having a civil conversation is insane. Mind you, he called the security over there." Her response showed a complete lack of self-awareness about how her behavior was being perceived by officials, players, and fans alike. Because if your version of a civil conversation ends with a referee calling for security, that says everything we need to know about how you communicate on the court.
DiJonai Carrington, we are not even 10 games into the season. There are more times than not of DiJonai playing dirty, get a flagrant foul. Oh my goodness, DiJonai, what's wrong with you, man? Is this what your coaches condone? Is this what your coaches, like, Christy 2.0, whatever you want to call this coach? I mean, are we condoning this?
This incident was the final straw for many fans who were already exhausted by Carrington's antics. They'd seen her poke Caitlin Clark in the eye, target Skylar Diggins' head, and even injure her own teammate, Paige Buchers. Now, she was creating off-court chaos with officials, disruptions that went far beyond the game itself. Her 4 flagrant fouls this season weren't isolated events. They formed a clear, escalating pattern of behavior that officials could no longer ignore. When referees start calling for security during routine post-game conversations, it's a sign that something is deeply wrong. This wasn't about competitive spirit or intensity. It was about a player whose conduct had become so volatile that trained professionals felt unsafe in her presence. At that point, it was no longer just a basketball issue. It was a liability the league and the team could no longer tolerate. Dallas Wings management finally saw the writing on the wall and knew they had to act.
It said breaking, Dallas Wings DiJonai Carrington has been traded to the Minnesota Lynx in exchange for Diamond Miller, Carly Samuelson, and Minnesota 2027 second-round pick. The team sources has confirmed that.
Here's what makes this trade so fascinating. Minnesota, a legitimate championship contender, just invited chaos into their locker room. The Lynx are cruising with a 24-5 record and are shaping up to be a serious threat to the defending champs, the New York Liberty. And now, they've added a player whose reputation is built on creating problems that extend far beyond the court.
Now that's crazy, because last time we seen DiJonai Carrington interacting with Minnesota players, y'all remember this one, Studbuds, right? Listen.
Okay, well now we're even because your dog's shit and piss in our room.
Oh wow.
We're even. Hey, try one more time. Hey. I love how direct you are. That's Courtney, it's time to go. Come on, bitch.
We all remember that, man. That was quite funny.
Now let's talk about what Dallas got in return. Diamond Miller, the number 2 overall pick in the 2023 WNBA draft, was named to the All-Rookie team and has quickly proven herself as a rising star. In her rookie season, she averaged 12.1 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 2.5 assists per game. Her 2025 three-point shooting is lights out.
Hey, DiJonai, they not really rocking with you. They're trying to get rid of you. They're giving no reassurance that they want you around at all. You can't get in the game in the fourth quarters. You're buried in the bench. You've been awful this season. It looks like you've forgotten how to play basketball completely. And what do you know? Good morning. DiJonai Carrington has been traded. DiJonai Carrington has been traded to the Minnesota Lynx. Boy.
Hitting 53.8%. A serious asset for Dallas to build around, without worrying about eye pokes or security issues. Carly Samuelson adds valuable veteran presence, with career averages of 5.3 points and 2.0 rebounds per game, shooting 41.1% from the field and an impressive 39.2% from 3. Yes, she's currently recovering from left foot surgery, but she's not bringing drama or behavioral issues to the locker room. For Dallas, it's a much-needed reset.
And she's not going to be going for your tomfoolery, your BS. When you get over there, trim the nails down, play basketball, and stop all that nonsense that you be doing. Stop all the flagrant fouling. Look, Cheryl Reeves ain't going to be going for all that. She ain't going to be going for your bull crap. You will be buried in the bench over there too. Cheryl Reeves will bury your ass in the bench over there too. Bring your game, not your name. Bring your game, not your fake fame.
Dallas fans are celebrating this trade like they hit the jackpot. You can feel the wave of relief across the entire fan base. They are finally free from the endless drama and public embarrassment that came with constantly defending Carrington's behavior. No more making excuses for dirty plays. No more trying to justify why a player had security called on her mid-game. Analysts keep saying Minnesota coach Cheryl Reeve might be the one person who can turn Carrington around. But let's be honest, some players are beyond saving when the issues run this deep. Reeve has built a championship culture in Minnesota, but even the best coaches can't fix a player who targets faces and creates chaos with officials.
Listen, DiJonai, I told you last time. I'm gonna tell you again. You better bring your game to Minnesota, or next season you might not even be here. You might not even be here next year. You might be playing on a minimum next year to be in this league. Straight up. You gotta understand, you was the same person going on podcasts talking about if we don't get what we want, we sitting and all that. You're not even good enough to be out here talking like that.
Here's the ultimate irony. A championship contender just traded for a player best known for getting ejected in big games. And the timing? Even more baffling. The deal came right after Lynx star forward Nafisa Collier left a game with an ankle injury. Minnesota needed steady, reliable depth, not more chaos. Meanwhile, the Dallas Wings just pulled off the smartest move they could have made, admit the mistake and move on. By unloading DiJonai Carrington, they've cleared their locker room of toxic drama and brought in real talent that can actually help build a sustainable, winning future. Minnesota, on the other hand, just invited a walking headline into a locker room chasing a title. Carrington's trade isn't just about one controversial player switching teams. It's a clear signal from the WNBA that talent no longer excuses dangerous behavior. The league has faced mounting criticism for letting aggressive play cross the line into outright risk. This time, Dallas got it right. They removed their biggest liability, and now fans can finally focus on great basketball. Asterisk not asterisk on who might get hurt next. If you think it's time for Carrington to be out of the league, comment. Fire Carrington. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Click the video on your screen. We'll see you there.